Welcome to Bell Peppers and Beef, a Cowboy Bebop podcast. This week we're talking about Session 24, Hard Luck Woman. I'm Paul.
Dave.
And this is Justin.
Alright, Dave, what happened in this episode?
Well, starting off, Faye is still trying to remember through the old beta cassettes to figure out her past and sort of figure out things. Where she gets surprised by Ed, as most people are with Ed being around.
Yeah, and kind of being half asleep.
Yeah. She does say at least one true thing. The fact that she doesn't know anything. Paul vaguely agrees.
Yeah.
I like the part where Faye straps Ed to the back of her ship.
Yeah, so she straight up kidnaps Edward.
Yes.
Not so much, I think. It's just kind of a case of Ed joins up with her. Because, oh no. No, I guess the first time, yeah, she kidnaps Ed.
Yeah.
Girls stay out though! Woo!
I don't know, she promised something good for her, so just to get her to go with her or something? I don't know.
I think it's a case that Ed supposedly knows of a specific location on the tapes that Faye saw.
Yeah.
And she wants
Vaguely.
to try and remember something.
Yeah, that's the impetus for her taking Edward.
And of course, with taking Edward, she succeeds in finding an old watering can in the garbage. Not exactly something she was looking for. But what makes things worse than just having one Ed? Let's have a whole bunch of Earth kids that are weird.
And a nun who's looking after them.
That and spraying people with a hose.
Yeah. I'm not sure why she sprayed Faye with a hose.
Yeah.
So they get into the, I don't know, I guess,
Church
foster home or
building.
whatever.
Probably foster home would be best.
Yeah.
And they're eating this gross looking fish soup.
Hey, you gotta make something.
Yeah, but it's just like a thing with like some like creamy soup with like a full fish with its head on and everything laying.
And maybe a rock. I don't know.
I think that was just with Faye's.
No, that was everybody's.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Or at least
wasn't-
everybody that I noticed, because I know it was in Edward's as well.
Ah.
And it just looks gross as all hell.
Yeah. I guess that is a fairly decent point not to eat something if Ed's eating it.
Cream of fish and rock soup.
Yeah, but it's got like, oh, the fish still has like its scales and shit on.
Yeah?
Oh, it's gross.
You don't like fish.
I don't hate fish. I just
It's
don't want
just
to
the-
eat fish scales.
I don't think you're supposed to in most cases.
Well, yeah.
Eh.
Anyway, so we find out about Edward's father.
Ed has a daddy.
Yeah.
And he's an idiot.
Yeah, that's about right. Like,
He
father,
lost
like-
his child.
I honestly think he's eccentric.
No. He an idiot.
Yeah.
It says so right in my notes.
Yeah, because he can't tell whether he had a son or a daughter.
Yeah.
That is a decent point. He is also a mapper for a planet that changes its map every couple of days.
Yeah. And I guess the only reason why he put a bounty on himself, for some reason, was to have him found by,
More so Ed did that to find his father, after hearing about the fact that he was there.
Oh.
He had to get some way for Jet and Spike to assist in finding him.
Oh, I see. I guess I could have done that.
Let's talk about that bounty.
That 50.000000?
50 oologs.
Almost.
Where they thought it was 50 million.
Let's just add more zeros to make it sound like it's a bigger number.
No. Bullshit.
Seriously.
No. That is not how money works.
It should have been kind of caught from the beginning, and Jet was just kind of stupid for saying it was 50 mil instead of 50 oolong.
Everybody's stupid in that case. Because once there's a decimal, you can only have 2 zeros after it. That's how money works. Unless in their society, you can have like 1,000th of a penny.
Well,
beg
it
to
is
differ.
also Ed who can hack through a computer to get certain things placed in there.
I beg to differ. You know, gas stations, they have like an extra decimal point.
Really?
Yes.
That's a little different, but okay.
I know, it's like an extra decimal, like it's 1,000th of a dollar. It's like, but you can't have something smaller than a penny.
Unless they make it so. In which case, that would just be
It's
asinine.
it's fucking dumb.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just about as dumb as Ed and Ed's dad combined.
Oh well, either way, they were fooled by it because of the dumbness. It was made by Ed anyways.
Anyway, I think we can maybe step off this topic for a quick second and jump back to someone who's also involved with the story of Faye, who succeeds in finding what she was looking for as well as something additional.
Yeah, she found an old lady who knew her way back 50
they went
or
to
so
high
years
school
ago.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a small chat, and then she chuffed off.
She has a great line though when the granddaughter comes over and she's
And
like,
asks-
"I'm just a ghost from beyond."
Yeah.
Which is a great line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what's after that, Dave?
Relating the Fae, she kind of goes through her existential crisis of being like, I remember things. Oh God, I need to remember the things. And then she has a shower because, fan service and the stuff.
I don't know, they didn't really see it as fan service, really.
No, I was okay with this because of the way that it's constructed with all the flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah, it was actually portrayed
Yeah.
quite well in that regard.
No, in that regard, yes, it starts getting her actual flashbacks and she starts to remember stuff.
Yeah, she remembers a bunch of flashes,
Little flashes.
not
of memory.
really substantial details.
No. Yeah, but anything for her, I'm sure, would be something.
Yeah, I'm not arguing. Like, my point is, she doesn't remember some substantial event. She just remembers a couple of flashes of things.
So, jumping back to Ed's dad, and despite the fact I didn't bother to pause to write down his full name, oh boy, his name.
I didn't even bother to pay attention to it because it was so dumb.
So, firstly, he eats eggs weird. And raw eggs, too.
Well, wouldn't that be like what a farmer does?
What?
I'm not even sure, dude.
What are you talking about?
No, if they're fresh enough, you would just eat it like that.
No.
Take an egg, jab the top of it, and just suck it back.
I think farmers do that. If they're fresh enough.
I don't. I hope they don't.
But anywho...
You probably wouldn't know. My dad was a farmer.
I mean, fair enough, but ew.
Yeah.
I know, I'm not one to eat raw eggs. I'm not really justifying that too much, but I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat a raw egg like that.
But then, of course, we have a new object to add on to the meme. There was pocket sand, and there was other particular things. Now, there's pocket egg.
Oh, yeah.
When Spike and Jet decide to try and go after Ed's dad's bounty.
Yeah, when they... Yeah.
And they get paid off in eggs.
Yeah.
Well, more so the fact that they brought Ed back to Ed's dad. But yeah, no, if
And then they
if Ed didn't bother showing up, yeah, Ed's dad would have kicked their ass. Because he definitely kicked Spike's ass, which we'll have to add to the list of people who can kick Spike's ass.
Yeah, just like a one tick. That's like the only person who apparently can.
No,
Well, there was Puro Le Fou.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, Spike still won in the end.
Only because Ed showed up and brought a ship to it. But yeah, Ed's dad is not the father of the year.
No, not really.
No, they end up. So Spike and Jet end up getting a whole bunch of eggs,
For bringing Ed back to Ed's dad.
and Ein and Edward leave the Bebop,
As well as Faye.
and I rejoice.
You rejoiced in this scene, really?
Hallelujah!
You would rejoice in this scene, really?
I was quite happy that Edward was gone. I am not a fan of the character. They didn't do a whole lot with Edward that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate this episode. I quite liked it. But I'm glad to see Edward leaving.
Well, I think there are a couple of people within the episode that would possibly disagree with you. You remember the egg-eating scene?
Vaguely.
They were eating eggs.
Near the end of the episode, after they received their reward of eggs and decided to hard-boil them, they pretty much go at it like they've been starving for weeks.
Yeah.
Do you think there was any particular point to it?
Nah.
Ed and Spike, despite the fact that with receiving Ed, Faye, and Ein, with all the stuff that they've gone through, have grown attached to having them around, having them be a part of his family. And having them leave, they've had to try and deal with it. And with this scene, it kind of emphasizes it.
Okay, so that's a completely legitimate reading of it, and that's quite possibly what they intended. I am simply saying, as a viewer, hallelujah, Edward is no longer around.
And I will give you that.
Just in Paul's vision, he's happy. Edward is gone.
Edward annoys me.
And I will give you that.
Alrighty, any last minute thoughts, David?
Well, this was the first episode that decided to choke me up at the end of it.
Alrighty, Justin?
Indeed. It's a rather heartfelt ending, and overall, an episode like that. And kind of forgot to mention, Faye made it back to her, past mansion that's apparently been completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she lays down where her bed supposedly was, marking it out, and just kind of just lays there. It's like, yep, this is not where I belong anymore.
Alrighty.
I'm back to square one again.
Yeah. David, do you have a rating for this episode?
This episode is one of the great ones out of Cowboy Bebop from most everything that it sort of hits.
Mm-hmm.
The ridiculous factor and the mature moments that it has kind of polarizes it for all the particular stuff it does. But for everything that it does within the episode, I absolutely enjoyed it and place it as one of the great episodes that I enjoyed through Cowboy Bebop.
Okay, and Justin?
I have to agree with David. It is one of the really best ones in the series, I would say, actually.
Okay. So, I would not call this one of the best.
Mm.
It wouldn't make my top 5. I'll put it that way.
Would it be in the 10s?
If I had to make a list of the top 10, yeah, probably.
Okay.
I think it's fine. It's actually pretty good. I think it will work a lot better for you if you like Edward.
Yeah.
Which I don't, because I find Edward annoying.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's quite a good episode. I'd probably put it about a 7.5 out of 10. Last minute thoughts, Dave?
Puppy is gone.
Justin?
Edward's gone.
Hallelujah, Edward's gone. So that's going to be it for this week. I'm Paul.
Dave?
And not Edward.
Thank God.